naked shamanism. Welcome to With Insights Radio. I'm your host, Iggy Garcia. I will take you on a journey across the universe through shamanism, metaphysical, and holistic. So sit back and relax and enjoy the show.
Yeah, today I'm going to have a special guest, and she's a friend of mine. Her name is Jan Kevan. She's going to be joining me here shortly. She's going to share about some of the projects she's working on here. And she has a company called a Kindhuman company, which is, I'll let her explain a little bit how that works and what's going on. But here today we're just going to share. We're going to talk about what's been going on. Today I've been just working with my dad today, hanging out with him and just doing all kinds of cool stuff, fixing and laying and breaking concrete and doing all kinds of stuff. And that's kind of what we do around the building. It's always fun to be able to work with your 75-year-old father, who sometimes I think outpaces and outworks most young men. That's including me sometimes, I think. But yeah, we were talking today a little bit about his grandfather and how his grandfather, when the family would say, "We have to fix this," my great grandfather would say, "Oh no, I'll fix it. I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. I'll do that. I'll take care of it. You don't need to call anybody. I'll take care of it. I'll figure it out." And it's kind of how person he was, and my dad's kind of like that too. So it's kind of cool to hear those stories about your ancestors and people that came before you and the things that they did. And I thought it was pretty exciting for him to share those stories about my great grandfather, or actually. It's his grandfather, so that would be my great grandfather. So it'd be his, and then he's telling me about some of his aunts and uncles who are living to be about 100 and some years old. He thought that was pretty cool. And then we talked about Mama Rosa a little bit, about my mom and how she's going through her changes in the other world. And he talks about how she has been on his mind and how little things have occurred around the building, and how little things touching him on the head and nudging him. And for those of you who were on last week's show, there was all kinds of crazy stuff going on the radio. And today there's another crazy thing going on. I couldn't get on the radio. I couldn't get on air, which is kind of funny. But the cool thing was my friends, sent me, the recording and pictures. They had the freeze frame of the stills of the pics of, when the frequency was interfering on the show. And I thought it was pretty interesting to see that. It was pretty wild to experience that, and I came to the conclusion, and a lot of us came to the same conclusion, that was probably my mom visiting or saying hi or stepping in there and going, "I'm here, hijito, and you're doing the right thing. You're doing good stuff, and you're doing good work." And so I was really happy and proud about that. And then today, after we got our work completed, I took him to the bank, and then we went to the cemetery and we hung out, and we were just doing what we do, but. The thing that really bothered my dad was people walking their dogs in the cemetery, and they're just pooping in the cemetery and not picking up the poop. That really bothered him, and it bothered me too. That was kind of disrespectful that some people just do that and not even think that was okay. I think that was really, I mean, it's one thing if the geese do it because, they're in nature and doing their thing, but somebody walking their dog and just leaving, crap on someone's grave is really, really uncalled for, in my opinion. I didn't think that was really nice. Anyways, that was kind of my day, just working hard. But anyhow, we're gonna bring my friend here on, and she's gonna share with us a little bit about her life and where she's gone and how she got here and what got her here, and whatever she wants to share and whatever she wants to bring into this little bit of time that we have, the hour segment we have. And with no further ado, I'm going to bring on my friend Jan here. Hello, Jan.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Very well. How are you, Iggy?
Good. We had a little bit of a technical difficulty there for a minute there. We made it through.
We did indeed. Whatever glitch it was supposed to be, it was supposed to be.
Hey, I don't know. For some reason, my computer went off, came back on, and next thing I know, I had 4 or 5 Skypes were on at the same time. I think someone was trying to work their way through my system. So I shoot them away.
There you go. Shooing can be good.
Well, welcome to Iggy Garcia Live. Appreciate you being here and spending some time with me. Adriana's not going to be with us today. She's a little tired and worn out. So usually she's on the air with me on Mondays, and we share the 60 minutes and we talk about different things. But I wanted to get rolling with you and talk to you a little bit. Maybe just kind of introduce yourself to our listeners so they can kind of get a feel who you are and what they're going to be listening to in the future here, because you're going to be joining us here on With Insights with some airtime and some shows and some ideas and stuff. So the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. When you say introduce yourself and tell us who you are, that's really difficult for me because I just have so much going on. But when it comes right down to it, if I had to just pinpoint it, I would say that I'm interested in what I consider to be the Humanity Restoration Project. And that is, in a nutshell, just bringing dignity and honor back to being human and treating others with kindness and finding out ways to do that and bringing community back to where its proper seat is and living honorable lives. And had a lot of little companies sprout up, not companies, so to speak, but, little movements and things that are really coming into focus that at some point in time I would love to share. We can pick one out and talk about it if you'd like. But
sure.
Just bringing the people back in to the fold, so to speak. And I think that we just need more and more and more of that. So would you like me to share what a Kindhuman company is? It's like an little umbrella. And I would love to do that.
Absolutely. We'd be glad to, hear and listen and talk about your vision about that.
Well, a Kindhuman company just was born out of my heart because I had all these little projects that I didn't know where to put. So all of a sudden I decided that I was a Kindhuman, and that is what I wanted to spread the word about, was being a Kindhuman and, humanity. And so I just decided to call this little thing a Kindhuman company so that anybody who heard those words might feel blessed and that a Kindhuman might really be there to talk to them or help them. So when I said I had all these little startups and little things that came to my heart, one of them was something called Heals on Wheels. It's a mobile treatment center. And Heals on Wheels is something that I call a nationwide endeavor, and it's to bring healthcare and healing to people by providing doulas or advocates, energy medicine practitioners, doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals to disaster, responses, group settings. I found in my life right now, and I'm sure that you have too, and all your listeners do as well, that, old-fashioned house calls need to come back. They need to come back. Many people are starting to employ alternative health care and opting to give birth at home and die at home. And, we often see the dying provided with hospice workers, but at Heals on Wheels, we're very, very different. We want to support the person and their family through the entire dying process, not with a company behind us, but with what we know to be the dying process itself. It dispels fear by teaching things such as what the death rattle is. And, these doulas can actually spend about 18 hours a day with somebody, 4 or 5 days a week with somebody who's dying. They sit, they stand, they hold people. And so it's really imperative for a practitioner to have a safe place to eat and to sleep and to pray outside of the home of the person who's experiencing this, the person who's dying. And so, we're looking to get these vans that people can stand up in, could work in, can travel in together, and to eat in and to sleep in and to pray in so that they have a safe space. We go to things called veteran stand-downs, and we've been to forest fires, and we set up triage and treatment tents, and we offer help. And that's what Heels on Wheels is all about. And there's so much more. What do you think about that one? Just curious.
I like that. You're going to hear
Sounds
a little
right.
pop here in a second, okay? Here we go.
Yes.
You still hear me?
Yes, I can.
Very good. I like that. I like that that idea and everything that goes along with that. It's something that I've had other friends talk about that they want to do similar stuff, but the thing about this kind of work, sometimes we have these great imaginations, these great creations, and these things, and we don't follow through. You doing this work, how do you feel that you were able to, create this manifestation? How did it start? Where did it come from? I mean, where did that drive come in for you?
I think that it's a really, really kind of a tough question in a way, but it's so simple also. I think that we're born with it, Iggy. I think that I was born with it. I think that it's always been in me, and the drive itself. And so I'll just share a little bit about me, and that might help you understand where I come up with some of the crazy ideas that I seem to come up with. I'm just like everybody else. Just a girl like everybody else. I have had a life that has been what I consider to be remarkable, but that doesn't mean it's all been great. But even the rough parts were remarkable parts. And I have known probably my entire life that I had this purpose, because I have this light in me, this fire in me that is, very divinely driven. It's very spiritually driven. It's very godly driven. And I kind of lost touch with that. I was very, very intuitive at a very young age. I've always been intuitive. I've always been, very, mentally telepathic, clairvoyant, all of those things that we hear about, that back in the day were like taboo, but now scientists have proven are real. And so I've always been that person, but I kind of lost touch with it. I became what I consider to be very human, and lived a very human life, made a lot of mistakes, hurt people along the way. But I always had that connection in my heart, that cord that went clear up to the heavens, that cord that connected me to the divine. And I had just lost sight of it. And I can remember when I was a young child that a friend of mine, when I was quite young, brought an animal to me and said, "Will you just touch this, because I know you can make it better?" And I thought about that over the years, and I thought, I was a healer then, and for some reason I stopped being a healer. And it was just becoming very human, and leaving my good ways. And so I suffered a slight stroke, and it left me needing some work, learning how to do some things again, and teaching my brain to use my brain in a different way so that I could connect the synapses again. And one of my sons, he said that he missed the old me. He missed the old intuitive me, the old me that used to say, "Oh, no, you shouldn't do that because this is what's going to happen." And he missed that part of me, and he missed the healer part of me. And I thought, well, I don't know how to get that back. But he did, because he, too, is very much like that. So he asked me to take this class. It was called the Healing Touch. It's called the Healing Touch Program, which is an amazing program, by the way. I'll give it a little plug, if I may. It is the only energy medicine modality that is nationally accredited for nurses and doctors and EMTs for continuing education. And that says a lot, because we have Reiki, we have, we have tons of different modalities out there, but it is the only one that is accepted in hospitals and, around it. You can go into surgery with this certification. You can, it just carries a lot of clout, and it's biofield sciences. It's energy medicine. So my son said, I want you to take this class. Well, I didn't want to go to school. I don't want to take any classes. I just wanted to stay depressed. But he said, no, you need to go take the class, Mom. You know, you don't have to do the work, but, you know, you just go take the class. It will help you heal. So I took the class, and I kind of liked it. I thought, oh, this is kind of cool. They're talking about things that I learned about in the, you know, late 60s and, of course, in the 70s and early 70s in college, you know, in parapsychology, you know, we talked about these things, and here these people were using them. And I thought, well, this is kind of neat. And so I took the first class, and I thought, well, I'll take the second one. And the second one delved a little bit deeper, and I like that as well. And then the third one, really, you know, you have to do some real self-work and some self-healing work and introspection. And it's like college. And I thought, what am I doing? But I stuck with it, and I realized that my gifts were coming back. They were coming back very rapidly, very, very quickly. The more that I healed, the more that I allowed myself to be healed, the more my gifts were returning. And I was so grateful. I was so humbled, slammed to my knees in thanksgiving, because I became awake again. And waking up is really wonderful. What a gift. What a gift to be able to take your life, know that you were awake at one time, know that you kind of took a vacation, and then you get to be awake again, and you get to help so many other people because now you're awake again. And that's that light I have. That's that light that shines, that I want to help other people find their way again. And you just know it. The people who are listening probably are going, I know what that feels like. I want what she has. How do I get that? Because the people who turn in and who listen are the ones searching for that light.
Right.
And that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And what I want to tell everybody that feels like that, that's looking, is we're here. There are all kinds of places for you to be. There are all kinds of things for you to do. You know, transitioning from what you might do right now in your life's work, you know, there are people who can help you do that. There are a lot of us who have given up our quote-unquote day jobs to be healers, to be keepers of the light, to be spiritual guides, to, you know, help people ground, to help people center, to help people attune. And yet we run businesses and do those things, you know, for the greater good of all mankind, not just for ourselves. And that's what the Humanity Restoration Project is. It's truly about dignity, honor. And we believe that every human being has an innate right to be born and live and die with dignity and honor.
Absolutely.
Those are kind of some of the things that I'm very passionate about.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty big passion.
It's huge.
To share with the world.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
So you want me to say?
We
I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, but you and I just kind of met by chance. You know, it's kind of one of those. Well, there's no chance, but you know,
by divine intervention, Iggy.
Yeah. But
yeah.
one of my events that I had put together with a few friends of mine who had a holistic center, and I remember after doing the drumming and stuff, you had reached out and said, hey, well, not to me in particular, but to everybody, that you had been searching for a family again, you know, a place where you can come and be with like-minded people and, you know, do stuff. And that was really moving, really touching. You know, you and I had that conversation the other day.
It was, and you're right. I had lifted that prayer up, and I had just said, you know, please, you know, I need a drumming circle. I need to find, and one of the reasons is because my adult children, I mean, my children are adults, I should say, but my children, my grandchildren, they live, you know, on the West Coast, and that's really far away from where I'm living, and right. They are my community. They're my tribe, you know, my support system. And so when I'm back in Ohio, I had that longing, and it's hard. It was hard. It was hard to be so isolated and not be around people who were like me. And so I offered up that prayer, and I don't know how your advertisement got on my Facebook page, but it did, and I'm thankful for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then to find out that drumming circle was, right in the town I live in. I mean, like right up the street. And I thought, well, there's another sign, let's follow the signs. And it was exactly what I needed. And I was supposed to meet you, and for a couple other reasons, which I'm sure we both know, one having to do with your mom. And
yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That was
it
kind
was
of
indeed.
Bizarre. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of asked me how my mom was, and I was like, "Guess she's fine, I guess." And then, boom, she was gone.
And then I told you she wasn't. Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Crazy.
But she is now. She is fine.
Right.
Yeah. So we were just brought together, and two like-minded people, ready to do good things and to help others. And I like that. I was going to share with you if you wanted to hear it. While I was, healing from this stroke, I tried to keep track of a lot of different things that, I was thinking up or I was dreaming or that were, I always say that were given to me, and so I had this dream one night about something I call the Love Note 321. Would you like to hear about it?
Yeah.
I would love to share it.
Hold that thought. Yeah, hold that
I'm
thought
holding.
1 second. Let's go to a little quick break, and we'll be right back.
You got it.
You are listening to WithinsightsRadio.com, your free online resource for achieving self-discovery and inspiration. With Insights Radio is a listener-supported radio station, and your donations are greatly appreciated. We cover a variety of topics, interviews surrounding the metaphysical and holistic and natural medicine, alternative healing modalities, and much more. Thank you for tuning in to WithinsightsRadio.com. You are listening to WithinsightsRadio.com on the Blog Talk Radio Network, your free online holistic publication resource radio for trusting your intuition, achieving self-discovery, and following your soul self.
Welcome back to With Insights Radio. This is Iggy Garcia live, broadcasting here on an undisclosed location in the universe. My sidekick is off for the day. She'll be back shortly, sometime soon. She's relaxing, taking a break. She's getting her batteries recharged, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, Adriana will be back soon enough. But yeah, today we're just kind of hanging out here with my friend, Jan, and we're talking. And we're sharing about her vision and the things that she's been doing in the holistic metaphysical world, and the things that we sometimes want to be part of, and some things we may not understand. There's a lot of people like myself, like her, who are into this work. This work is very, very spiritual, very connected, very, 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 very. Sometimes we give so much of ourselves that we forget to heal ourselves, and we forget to work on ourselves. But yesterday we had a gathering of sounds, which is basically a sound bath. It was the time where we brought all our singing bowls and our gongs and all the little things other than drums, and we recharged our batteries on the full moon. We were down there kind of like the crystals, being recharged and healing and using sound, energy, sound healing to move and knock off and bring back in energies that we needed. And if you've never been to a gathering of sounds, it's a beautiful and amazing thing. Totally just jacks up your energy. It just feels great. And of course, for those of you who really want to be rooted to the ground and really want to get down to the earth and get real primal and dance and sing and drum, we have drumming circles. and we have a drumming circle this weekend at Kobacker House at 2 p.m. For those of you, it's a grief drumming, but it's also a drumming for celebration for community as well. So we invite you to come to that and share, because grief isn't only just loss of life. Grief is also loss of anything, anything that's value, anything that's important to you and your heart. You could lose a relationship, you could lose a friend, you could lose your animals, your pets. So it's not just human being loss. So that's what we do at Kobacker every other month. Usually it's on the second or the last Sunday of the month. But for those who need the calendar and who are not on Facebook, there's a calendar on my website at iggygarcia.com. Just check for the events, hit the calendar button. It opens up a whole calendar and it shows you all the events that I'll be hosting or I'm part of in some way, co-hosting or whatever. But that's what we're doing. So today we're with Jan Kevan, and she's sharing with us her vision, A Kindhuman Company. It's a project she's been close to her heart, and she's going to share with us here in the next half hour about her other vision, which is good. It's good to be around people who have vision, people who want to create things and want to make this world a better place. And I know for some people that is probably a new feeling sometimes, and to know that people actually care like that. So Jan, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So I love you telling about the sound bath yesterday. Sound is very healing, and it just fits right in with the dream that I was going to tell everybody that I had. So one night I just had this dream. I'm going to share it with you. It was March 21st, and I was flying on an airplane from Oregon to Ohio, and I had just finished looking down at my watch, which read 3:21, when suddenly, without warning, the airplane was lifted up a bit. It left a feeling in my stomach almost like it does when the plane hits an air pocket. But this was very different. For a moment, there was a sense of peace, of calm, of serenity, and everyone was smiling and saying, did you feel that? Oh, that was so wonderful, and I want to feel it again. And soon the intercom was abuzz, and a voice was heard by all saying, "This is the pilot. No need to worry, folks. I hope you enjoyed the spectacular feelings. They are all too rare. What, you might be asking, caused it? Well, folks, believe it or not, we just flew through a love note." So that was my dream. And I woke up from my dream going, what the heck is a love note? I don't get this. What am I supposed to do with that? Why would I be given such a crazy dream? And the more I thought about it, and the more I thought about sound, and the more I thought about how healing sound is, the more I thought that we need a movement, a sound movement, something that would help us. I just really wasn't sure what it was going to be. So the more I thought and thought and thought about sound and did my research, I thought, just imagine being able to hear the sound of a stone, okay, because we can, being thrown into the water, being able to hear each ripple, wave after wave. Then imagine that sound being carried in the very air you breathe. And this is how sound really works. Sound is a vibration, moving through the air that stays in our universe forever. And our bodies react to sound waves, whether our ears hear the sound or not. Our bodies are still reacting. And think about someone who yells in anger or screams in pain. Those sound waves or those vibrations hang in the air like thick pockets of smog. And if we are to believe, that darkness is the absence of light, then we must also kind of believe that angry and painful, torturous sounds are thick and heavy and dark. And so consciously, if we think of something that we love and offer up a joyful note, then we bring sound waves of light's vibration where darkness existed. And that helps heal the universe. It helps heal us. It helps heal Mother Earth. And so this is how the love note was born, literally. So it became a movement. It's a worldwide movement now, and it brings attention to healing through our thoughts and our sound. By thinking a loving, kind thought and then humming a note into the world, we create peace, and we emanate peace. We create healing, and we become healed. So it used to be on March 21st to 3/21, every year. We all came together. There were 17 countries that participated last year. And we would come together at 3/21 on March 21st, and we would think of a loving thought, and we would hum a note out into the universe. That's simple. That's simple. And then
that's pretty simple.
Yeah, and then somebody said to me, why do we only do that once a year? I mean, isn't that something that would be good to do every day? It would remind us to be thankful and grateful, and it would be healing. And I thought, well, why wouldn't we? So now I have set my alarm on my phone to 3:21 every day, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought, we need more people to do this. The more and more and more people whose alarms ring at 3:20, no matter where they're at in the world, work, play, it doesn't matter. At 3:21, their alarm goes off, and other people will know. And then they'll just hum a beautiful note out into the world. It's a loving vibration. We would be healing the world. And the more and more of us who do it, the more and more people will come to do it, and it will become common. It will become known. And we will become the healers of the world just through a note. There's another passion. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like 11/11. Every time you see 11/11, everybody's like, "Oh, 11/11, make a wish."
Exactly.
Now, now you have love note. It's 3:21. Hum your note, so we can all bring peace and love to the world. That makes a lot of sense. I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I want to let our listeners know real quick before we continue the conversation here. The call-in number is 646-595-3440. For those of you who have a hard time listening on the live stream, there is a live feed on the radio on Blog Talk. So if you want to call or you have any questions for Jan, I'm sure she'd be glad to answer them for you.
I would be happy to. I also want to throw out there, just for people who might be skeptical about healing with sound, I just want to throw out there that it's very natural healing modality, and it's been used for centuries. But if you really think about it, if you've ever been to the hospital, there are two fields or major sources of electromagnetic energy that heal the human body in safe and effective manners. And we use EKGs for our hearts and EEGs for our brains, and those are things from sound. Sound are those tests that we use, an ultrasound to see life inside of somebody. Yes, that's all done through sound. So, and there are different frequencies, as you well know, drum man, Iggy, different frequencies that really heal us in different ways. And, good stuff.
Well, they said that Tibetans used to use sound to move stones, and the Incas used to use sound to move stones too. So that doesn't surprise me. When you just mentioned ultrasound and all the different types of sounds, that even the sounds of, it's just things that we have to remember how to use again.
You're absolutely right, and you're right about the monks. They did. The Tibetan monks used crystal and brass, healing bowls, gongs, bells, to create harmonious energy, but they did it to move things. And it's been in every culture that there is. And this, people might find this interesting. The note do. We have do, re, mi, fa, sol, la. So do is 396 hertz, I believe. And we talk about do as liberating guilt and fear. That's what that note does. That's what it is related to. And Ray is 417. Boy, somebody's going to tell me if I'm wrong, I hope. And that is undoing situations and facilitating change. Me is transformation and miracles. It's like DNA repair. And Fa, I have to think. Yeah, Fa is connecting and relationships. Soul is awakening intuition. And La is returning to spiritual order. So if you if you do do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, if you do that with intent, you'll heal the world one note at a time. Yeah. Exactly.
Hey.
Yeah, our thoughts come out of our body through sound. And so if you have a loving thought. I love it. Oh. Well, that's the love note, 321.
Awesome. Let's bring a caller on and see if they have any questions for you. I'm not sure who's on here. Let's see. Hello, caller. Welcome to the show. I want to see if you have any questions for Jan. If not, you're just listening, no problem. We can hold you. They must just be listening, though. We'll put them back on mute.
Oh, we love questions or statements even. Affirmations are good too.
Yeah.
You know, anybody who's experienced healing through sound, you know, we would love to hear about it. I would love to hear about it. I know Iggy would as well.
Yeah.
I really am grateful for you having me on tonight. I'm really excited to share, you know, my heart with everybody, and it's just a great platform to be able to do it in. And I do want to thank you while I have the time and let everybody know how grateful I am for the invitation, and I'm honored to be able to share this with you.
Well, the show is called With Insights, so we like to share. Everybody has insights, so we like to learn and share from one another. That's why I called it that. A long time ago, when I was like 15 years old, I wanted to start my own radio station, and I walked into a ham radio store where they had broadcasting equipment for low FM band stereo or stuff. And I walked up to the counter, and I asked the guy, I go, you know, can you help me? And he's like, yeah, sure, what do you want? I said, well, I want to start my own radio station. They laughed so hard at me. They're like, oh, that costs millions of dollars, son. You can't afford that. I'm like, you know what's funny? They crushed my dreams just a little bit temporarily. And I'm thinking, okay, fine. I'll figure something else out. But it was funny because later on, you know, life has a way of doing things. You know, the internet develops and the internet evolves and becomes this amazing platform for anyone to do the work that I'm doing personally through radio and through internet, through podcasting. And there's thousands and thousands of people who have shows on the internet now. And I'm one of those thousands. And, you know, but it's great. It's a great way for me to express myself. Kind of like, you know, what you're telling your story. That's how With Insights became, you know, the platform that it is. Because I wanted to share what was in my heart, what was in my learning, what I had been brought up, how my family raised me, and the things that, you know, were going on in my life. And that's how this radio station, and this is how this podcast became, you know, the thing it is today. And the people who've been involved in it, the people who have helped me, you know, the people who have, you know, been on here as guest DJs, as hosts and stuff. And I'm very grateful for everybody who's had some kind of, you know, effect or have put their hands on here and touched it and helped it, you know, flourish and grow. And, you know, it's my passion. It's my love, kind of like the things that you've shared.
I'm so excited for you because I can hear it in your voice, and I love that because your dreams come true, and you're helping people at the same time, which is just what a gift. Mm-hmm. What a wonderful gift.
Let me see if I can get this caller on here real quick and see if they have any questions.
Okay.
Hello, caller. I want to see if you had any questions for Jan. It could be that they're just listening as well. But I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to at least have the opportunity, so I'm putting them back on mute.
Absolutely. I hope it didn't scare anybody off.
No, they're still there. They haven't hung up. They're just listening to the show. You know, that's the thing. Radio is one of the things, you know, no one knows what you look like, which is good. You know, for me personally.
Well, thanks, Iggy.
But I'm on the live stream, so people know what I look like.
Oh, I love it. Well, I'll tell you, it has we just have a lot of things going on, and one thing that I would like to put out there for people is that, you know, we are just people on the radio, but no different than any other person sitting at home listening to this, or any other person watching it, you know, any other person. We are just people like you. And so you can reach us. We are not those kind of people that are like celebrities or something like that. We are just down-to-earth people who really want to help other people. And I really like to put that out there because, you know, that's why we're doing this. We want to reach you. We want to reach people. We want to be able to say, hey, you need help doing something, ask us. Just ask us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll help you figure it out, because that's what we're here for. At least that's what I'm here for. I should speak for myself,
Absolutely.
but I know that you would. And I'll give you a great example. I'm just going to give an example just for somebody today. I spoke with someone who was overwhelmed by all of the work they had to do to this house to get it ready to buy. And he was just really overwhelmed. And I said, you know, make me a list. You make me a list of everything that you need done, and then I'll put out the word, and we will get the workers, and we will come and help you do it. We could do in one day what it's going to take this man a week to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good stuff. That's
Absolutely.
what we need to do. We've gotten away from that. We've gotten away from community. We've gotten away from helping each other. You know, we've gotten away from, hey, do you have a pickup truck I can borrow, or will you come and haul this for me? You know, we're just so disconnected. Let's reconnect. You know, Connect with me, and I'll share somebody else for you to connect with, and you share somebody else for me to connect with. And finally, we'll be a wonderful community again, where we really do reach out and help people do things, and not just have events and things like that and healing, but that we're actually working to common goals. So thank you for that. Just had to put that out there.
Good. So let me ask you a question. Where would anybody find you? Where would you like to be found? Where would you like me to direct people to?
Well, I would love to guide you to akindhumanco.com, but let me tell you, 8 hours ago, you talk about your computer shutting down. 8 hours ago, I got a message that said service temporarily unavailable. So I called my server guy, and I said, I can't get online with the Kindhuman Company. And he said, oh, my gosh, I have a message here that says you were hacked. My website was actually hacked. And so he is working on it as we speak. The server is being, you know, revamped as we're talking. So if you can't get hold of me that way, you can always call me, and I actually give out my phone number, which is area code 614-783-4158. Again, 614-783-4158. That is a Kindhuman company. There's usually a Kindhuman who will answer that phone. If somebody doesn't answer, feel free to leave a voicemail. Always feel free to text. And if they don't answer, it's probably because they're with somebody who's transitioning or they're in a healing session. That would be the only reason they would not answer that phone. And thank you for asking.
Very good. Absolutely. All right, folks, we're going to go for a quick little break here, and we'll be right back.
You are listening to WithinsightsRadio.com on the Blog Talk Radio Network. Your free online holistic publication resource radio for trusting your intuition, achieving self-discovery, and following your soul self.
All right. Welcome back, guys. We don't have a whole lot of time left on the show. We have maybe 7 minutes, but I'm going to ask everybody, if you have questions and stuff, feel free to, just send me a chat here either on the live stream. That way I can kind of get something going and get something up for everybody. But if not, it's no problem. Jan will be back on at another date. But I want to kind of see if this caller has a question here. Hello, caller. We just want to see if you have any questions or anything you want to ask Jan tonight.
Hey, yes. Are you going to bring that healing band to Oklahoma anytime soon?
I would bring that healing van to you in a heartbeat because I know your voice. And I would love to do that. If I had a new healing van, I would bring it. I'm still trying to get a new healing van because my old one got broken into and ransacked big time. But I just so that listeners know, I'm talking to one of my oldest and dearest friends.
Hello.
And can you hear me?
I can.
Yes. And we go back a long way and have shared our lives, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I always credit this woman and her husband with probably having saved my life at one time. And so they will always hold just one of the hugest parts of my heart ever. And
you give us too much credit.
Oh, I don't think so. But you're a blessing. You're a blessing in my life.
It's great to hear you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I have to head that way. We have some work to do there.
Yes, we do.
And thanks for listening, and thanks for calling in. That's very sweet.
Thanks a lot. Talk to you soon.
You will. Wow, that was really awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah. Yes.
Good.
Yes, and that call was from Oklahoma, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's the advent of the internet. You can be anywhere and call.
And it is amazing that woman that called in. She just had such a loving heart, and we met in 1974. And I think I was going to University of Houston. Anyhow, we ended up working together, and we only lived in the same town for 1 year, and yet remained friends all this time from 1974 to now. We're still friends, and truly, we're connected, so woven together so tightly that nothing could break that bond. Only having lived in the same town for 1 year. And that's pretty amazing when you think about it. Pretty amazing. What a godsend and blessing that is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Fun stuff.
Very good.
Yeah.
So, Jan, are you going to have any kind of events coming up here shortly? Anything that people can come to and be part of and receive some work from you?
I think we're putting something together, but I can't tell you right now, Iggy, because honestly, I just don't know. I had a couple things coming up, but your calendar's you probably know my calendar better than I do.
I know my calendar. It's pretty.
I know we have some.
Crazy, cool this year.
You have some drumming circles coming up. We have a couple healing events going to come up. I am going to teach a class on how to become a doula, how to help people, transition at the end of their lives. I have a lot of people seem to be interested in that, and certainly, let me know if you're one of those, because people are asking, and it's great work. It's very sacred work. It's good work, and so we're going to be doing that. There's a couple women's events, not to say anything about the men, but a couple women's events that are going to be coming up. So. Yeah, I would tell you to go to my website, but it's down. Sorry about that, folks.
No problem. All right, well.
Calendar will be up and available as soon as my website comes back up. Wow.
We're just
about
out of time. So I wanted to see if you had any closing thoughts or anything that you want to leave with our listeners.
Yes, I will. I would just say that if anything that we talked about tonight moves you to the point where you want to know more, ask. Seek out someone and ask. If anything that we said tonight moves you to help another person and you're not sure how, ask us. Become involved and let that light shine. Don't hide it. And if you need help learning how to let your light shine, ask us and we'll help you. And I am, again, very grateful for the opportunity to speak and to be heard. And, wow, just really full of love for everybody. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to sit here with us and share with us your vision, your passion, your compassion as well about the work you do and the people that are in your life that you care about and how you want to see the world better. So with that, I want to say thank you to you, and we'll talk to each other soon. And thank you, Jan. You have a good evening.
Blessings, Iggy. Thank you.
Absolutely. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today and listening to Within Sight Radio, Iggy Garcia Live, episode 43, with Jan Kevan. She has a company called it's called A Kindhuman Company. That's what it's called. So we'll get you more information for that if you like. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I will see everybody soon. Be well. Take care. Ho'oponopono, much love. Peace and love. Do well. Be well. And I will see everybody soon.